Hi everybody, I wanted to do a quick video about controlling costs when it comes to producing your YouTube videos and kind of what I do to do that. And part of that is the software that I choose to make my videos. And so one of the things that you can do is use older versions of software because often they're just as good as newer versions. So for example, in my particular case, and don't laugh at this, but for Photoshop, so for making my titles, and if I want to do any stills and do any editing, I use Photoshop CS2, which I think I got it years and years ago. I don't know if is there an out about Photoshop. No, 2005 I think this came out, but it's more than good enough for everything I want to do, and it was powerful back then and it's powerful now and it still works fine. The other thing, for my video editing, I actually use a copy of Sony Vegas, or Vegas I think it is, Pro 14 Steam Edition. Unfortunately you can't actually buy this anymore, I think they've moved on, but I use this because I didn't have a license for Adobe Premiere Elements, which is the big famous one, Adobe Premiere that people use. I had to stop using it because my old laptop, I switched over to this one. But I use Vegas because it's just as powerful. It took me a while to get used to the different controls. You just have to do things in different ways. And I think it cost me about £20 on Steam. As I say, you can't buy it now on Steam, but there's other versions of it are cheap. And the same goes for sort of buying licenses for Premiere Elements and Premiere. I know often you've got to subscribe now, haven't you? But always consider, if you do have to subscribe to something like Premiere Elements, do you really have to subscribe to everything else? Because a great piece of audio software is obviously Audacity. You've probably come across Audacity. It's free. It works very, very well. There's lots of different plugins you can use. And especially if you use it with something like the Levelator, which can take your audio file and automatically go through and change all the peaks and troughs so that it fills up the sound space. It gives you a pretty good sound that you can add voiceovers back to your videos to in your video editor, and they work very well. So there we go, that's one of my tapes on controlling costs and things. Think about, can you use an older, cheaper video editor? Can you use an older, cheaper, or free video editor, I should say? Can you use older or cheaper or free, like the GIMP picture editors, and use something like Audacity, and obviously use something like the Levelator. And actually the final thing is, I think OBS is free anyway, isn't it? But always consider using GeForce Experience as well, because GeForce Experience is free if you've got a NVIDIA GeForce card. Anyway, that's enough from me. What do you think? Put your cost saving ideas down below. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and I will of course see you again soon.